But I mean, you're gonna have to start paying something. And I wasn't the judge who placed you on probation previously. I don't know why somebody hasn't already told you you need to start paying
Yeah,
something
because
back.
and I also had asked I had asked before the previous time, is there any way that I can like talk to that judge to lower the things, and they told me that wasn't an option.
No, I mean, you have to pay what you owe. And I'm not even, the problem is I have some people who are on probation and they paid something. You paid nothing, zero. All right, Miss Williams, you can unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Okay, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. So we have an issue.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
All right, you need to start paying.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I don't have an excuse. I just don't have any work right now. I'm living with my dad. He has dementia. He really doesn't have no one but me and my kids. My mom passed, so it's hard right now.
So here's the thing. My understanding from reading everything is that one, he's receiving SSI. Everybody can't be living off of his benefits. And you've
He's
been
not.
on,
Yes, ma'am.
but you've been on probation since 2018 and
Right.
you paid zero.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no excuse for paying zero.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to pay something.
Okay. I don't. Is this the judge I'm speaking with,
Yes, it is. That's what the robe is.
Miss Boyd?
Yes.
Um, I was going to ask you can I pay to get, because this has been like a burden on me. I
Well,
know I can't afford $4,000.
here's the thing. You know what was a burden?
Yes,
And I'm not
ma'am.
trying to be mean,
I
but
understand. No, I understand. Is anything you say, I understand.
yeah, because I mean, the theft of property, that was a burden on somebody.
Right.
So you would have paid something.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be done with this, but you have paid nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's been since 2018.
Well, I was trying to see if my sister,
I'm sorry, see if your sister could do what?
if she can let me borrow like $1,000. I was just telling my other probation officer here in Houston to see if I can pay something to get out, because I know I won't be able to pay 4,000, and I will have to pay her that back.
Mhm. But I mean, you're gonna have to start paying something. And I wasn't the judge who placed you on probation previously. I don't know why somebody hasn't already told you you need to start paying
Yeah,
something
because
back.
and I also had asked I had asked before the previous time, is there any way that I can like talk to that judge to lower the things, and they told me that wasn't an option.
No, I mean, you have to pay what you owe. And I'm not even, the problem is I have some people who are on probation and they paid something. You paid nothing, zero. And that's been zero for since 2018.
Okay, so can I ask one question? I only have one.
You can ask many questions.
Okay, because I signed the year extension. If I was to pay something within the year and it don't be the total $4,000, would I be punished then?
I'll consider things, but you need to pay.
Okay.
You need to pay $1,500.
Okay, if I pay $1,500, can I give y'all a call and let you know that the $1,500 is paid
Oh, yes.
and get off?
Well, we'll see once you pay the $1,500.
Okay. Cause I'm gonna try to borrow that from my sister and just try to pay her back in babysitting.
All right. So what I can tell you is while people are with me on deferred adjudication, I don't allow babysitting. I don't allow them to have employment
No,
with my,
ma'am, I do hair as well, but it just doesn't bring in. I just started really. I just got a hair school. I just started braiding. It's not bringing in any big money yet, but I do braid hair as well. Yes, ma'am.
okay. All right. So just so you know, in this court, I don't allow people on probation to be home health care provider or to work with minors.
No, ma'am, I don't do any of that.
All right. Probation. Is there anything else? All right. Thank you.
Miss hello.
Yes.
Ms. Boyd, is this Ms. Boyd again?
Yes, this is Judge Boyd.
Okay, so Ms. Boyd, if she was to let me
This is
borrow the
Judge Boyd.
I'm sorry, Judge Boyd, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yes.
Judge Boyd, if she was to let me borrow the $1,500, can I then give Ms. Fuentes a call?
Oh, you can call whomever. You can call probation.
Okay. Well, I'll try to do that within the week if that's okay.
Yes, that would probably help you a lot.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Abrams, do you need to speak with her?
No,
All right, probation will call you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
For the defense,
Carl Alexander for Mr. McNew.
and are you Mr. McNew? All right, counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, to the best of my knowledge, the state has complied with 3914.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. McNew, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney and did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you're proceeding on the lesser included offense of attempted burglary of a building. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm reading it from the plea paperwork.
Judge, yes, yes.
All right, any objection
No,
to
Your
the
Honor.
lesser included?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McNew, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of attempted burglary of a building? That's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bear County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McNew, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of attempted burglary of a building. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 1 year in the Bear County Jail, and they're recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There were pretrial motions filed, judges, but no adverse rulings.
All right. Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 1 year and there be no contact with 18321 Bulverde Road. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
And in exhibit 1 in attachments, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so what is this all about? I'm assuming there's no restitution.
Correct, Your Honor.
So why is he going into someone's building?
It is an old abandoned property. In watching the body worn camera, it's been plagued by homeless encampments off and on. It's been subject to, I'll be polite and call it salvaging
Mhm.
operations. May I convey what we talked about? Sure. Okay, so what Mr. McNew had informed me about is he had been told this is a place that's abandoned and there might be things you can salvage and sell for scrap, which is what he got caught in the process of doing. He didn't realize that he's actually committing theft, which is why the state was so kind and generous in their offer. But he was very cooperative with the police, fully admitted to everything he was doing, and what items he did have or was in the process of loading remained there at the property.
All right, does he have criminal history?
He does.
He does.
All right, and what is the criminal history?
He is an addict in recovery, so I'll tell you there is possession charges in his recent past.
All right, we can go off the record. All right, this is the reason why I was asking these questions. Because if everyone agrees, and state, I do understand you're going on the lesser included offense because of the fact that he was told that it was abandoned property and that you could come there and salvage. And it appears that there was no locks that were picked or anything.
Correct, Your Honor. There's open access through there's a wall around the property, but it was fully open.
So here's my question. Is this really, it's a conviction on his record. I'm assuming the state agrees that he thought it was salvage and people were telling him, hey, you can just come here, grab something and sell it. Is this really a probation case? Wouldn't this, he has the conviction. Do y'all want to consider just a time offer?
The issue with that, Judge, is Mr. McNew is the caregiver for his 44-year-old son who suffered a traumatic brain injury.
Just a moment. That's fine.
I think the only credit that he has is 1 day. I'm fine with it.
All right.
2 days, even worse.
Okay. So,
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
all right. So the plea bargain, then are all parties agreed for 2 days in the Bear County Jail?
State agrees.
Defense agrees, Your Honor.
All right. Any objection to the court changing the plea paperwork?
Absolutely not.
All right, but this is what the court will do then. As previously stated, the court is finding there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 days in the Bear County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There still is to be no contact with 18321 Bulverde Road. And the court will find that the judgment is satisfied. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement state. And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. There is no pirates or anything that's happening. If there is a place that appears to be abandoned, run a search on the place. Call the police, ask. You understand? All right, good luck, and I hope you continue to maintain your sobriety. All right, have a great day. Court is calling 2024 CR 5244, State versus Jordan Davis. Do I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Good afternoon, Judge. Alfonso Cabañas for Mr. Jordan Davis.
And are you Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you all had a bench trial with the court, and the court, after both parties had rested and closed, the court asked for an opportunity to view State's Exhibit 1 in its entirety. The court did have a chance to review State's Exhibit 1 in its entirety, so the court will hear closing arguments. State?
Your Honor, does the state typically not give closing arguments in trial following the defense?
If they want to. My understanding from speaking with you off the record that the defense didn't really want to do a closing. So that's why I was asking you for your closing.
Your
But
Honor,
if that's,
I don't know whether defense counsel wanted to or not. But
all right,
my-
defense, do you want to get closing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll hear your closing.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, as the court was aware during cross-examination a couple of days ago, the only officer that stopped Mr. Davis testified that the alleged traffic offense, that he saw being committed was not recorded. I asked him about, rather, when I talked and described as to the reason for the stop, he initially said, well, his headlamps were turned off, or he didn't have the number of requisite headlamps as per the transportation code. When he confirmed on the stand that as per the transportation code, my client had more than two, he had three functioning headlamps, so much so that during the video, if the court recalls, the officer testifies that the headlamps in my client's car were working. Therefore, Judge, we have testimony from the officer that the alleged traffic offense of not having any functioning headlights is completely false. Secondly, Judge, after we move on from that point, the officer goes on a narrative in which he's trying to tell the court what he, the officer, would do in this situation. The transportation code and the penal code don't read that way. The transportation code and the penal code read that my client or the individual who is alleged to have been committing an evading offense needs to be clearly shown as evading law enforcement. If the court recalls from the video, during the entire length of the officer following my client doesn't speed, doesn't turn off his lights, does not drive in excess of the speed limit, does not drive under the speed limit, does not avoid traffic, does not flee from the officer. Additionally, my client goes so much as to take the extra step and notify the officer by turning on his hazard lights. The officer makes it a point to say that there were multiple shopping locations or shopping centers on the left side of the highway in which my client could have turned. Well, Judge, then I questioned the officer on Texas DPS, the driving manual, which states that when being followed by law enforcement, a driver has to stop, or rather must go to the right and stop in a place that's well lit and safe, not only for himself, but law enforcement behind him. So when I questioned the officer as to whether or not my client could have stopped on the right, being that it's a construction zone, being that there was nothing but grass and dirt and it was not lit, the officer said, well, I don't know, but I could have stopped there. As we proceed through the stop, or through the video, Your Honor, again, you continue to see that at no point in time did my client commit any additional traffic offenses other than the alleged traffic offense, which again was not recorded. The officer testified that my client was driving a vehicle that was not stolen. He was driving a vehicle with a seatbelt on. There was nothing that my client was doing as he was driving that warranted a traffic stop. As the officer continues to follow my client with his hazard lights turns to the right as he should, and then parks in an area where the officer testified there's no cars coming back and forth, thereby making it safe for my client and law enforcement to continue this interaction. And so the point of this, Your Honor, is that at no point in time did my client evade any arrest or detention. My client simply drove to find a place to stop. We know that he did not flee. We know that he didn't even intend to evade arrest or detention. He was simply looking for a safe place to stop. And as he was doing so, he notified the officer behind him by turning his hazard lights and maintaining a safe rate of speed. And for those reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court to find my client not guilty of the offense of evading arrest or detention.
All right. State.
Defense counsel's arguments are well made, but at certain points logically inconsistent and at other points irrelevant. Mr. Cabañas points out that the deputy's testimony was that Mr. Davis had 3 headlights on. Now, if Mr. Cabañas means this to mean that the high beams were on, then Mr. Davis committed an offense by having his high beams on within 300 feet of oncoming traffic. In which case, Mr. Davis committed an offense of the transportation code.
Was there oncoming traffic?
There was, Your Honor. And
Okay.
we'll be able to see it from the officer's dash cam recording. So Deputy Enriquez did have reasonable suspicion to detain the vehicle. Moreover, case law is clear. Under Lopez v. State, the Court of Appeals for San Antonio stated that although the officers agreed that Lopez was not accelerating from them or driving recklessly after exiting the highway, fleeing is anything less than prompt compliance with an officer's direction to stop, and fleeing slowly is still fleeing. So the fact that Mr. Davis did not speed or travel under the speed limit, the fact that he did not weave in and out of traffic, the fact that he was wearing his seatbelt, these are all very interesting assertions, but they are not relevant to the court's determination of whether he evaded arrest or detention. Finally, there's been no evidence introduced that Mr. Davis was actually following the Texas DPS handbook. There's been no evidence introduced that he's ever read it. There's been no evidence introduced that he was even vaguely aware of it. And so Mr. Cabañas' reliance on this Texas DPS handbook is misplaced because there's no evidence that Mr. Davis was actually following its advice. Even if he were, there were multiple areas for Mr. Davis to stop. The area in which he stopped was not a well-lit place. Deputy Enriquez testified that after the vehicle came to a stop, other vehicles had to go around it. And it's because where Mr. Davis stopped was on a 2-lane road with no bike lane or improved shoulder for him to move into. And so the only place that he could stop was in the lane. So for those reasons, the court should find him guilty.
All right, so you're saying that there is no proof that he knew what was in the Texas driver's handbook, and therefore that should be disregarded? The officer's testimony on with regards to the Texas driver's handbook?
The officer's testimony is not evidence that Mr. Davis.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're saying that there's no evidence that he knew about the rules for the Texas driver's handbook.
Correct.
And how is that relevant? Because the defense doesn't have to present any evidence, correct?
Correct. The defense does not need to present any evidence. But if the defense wants to rely on this DPS handbook for the proposition that Mr. Davis was obeying its advice, then there should be some evidence that he was at least aware of it, much less that he read it and that he obeyed it. And there's been no evidence.
All right. All right, the court has reviewed State's Exhibit number 1 in its entirety. I've heard both parties' argument. As both parties are aware, argument is not testimony, it's not the law, it's just your argument. After reviewing everything, listening to the testimony and seeing State's Exhibit number 1, the court will find the defendant not guilty. Is there anything else from either side?
Not from defense counsel.
Okay, thank you. If you will give this to the court reporter, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Christopher Rivera. Christopher Quinn Rivera. Lorenzo Garcia. Where's your attorney? All right, we'll come back with that. Nicholas Lee Cameron.
Judge, that's the one where, Lindsay's in trial. Yeah. He's in the box, Judge.
All right. All right, Mr. Cameron, if you'll come down, please. Nicholas Lee Cameron. Are you Nicholas Cameron?
First person.
All right. I don't have Christopher Cameron up here. I have Christopher Rivera, and then I have Nicholas Lee Cameron and Lorenzo Garcia. Could I see the file on Christopher Cameron?
Matthew Brown is my, yeah.
Oh.
Nate Cameron is actually Christopher Cameron's brother. Make that more confusing.
All right. All right, well, just have a seat. We're waiting for your file then. Is there anybody else who's ready? Who do you have?
Have Mr. Bergen. Zavala.
All right, could you pull that file, please?
This is an MTR, Your Honor, but we're going to be requesting a bond decision.
Okay, where's your client?
It is in the box.
All right, come down, please. All right, counsel, on this case, did you file a motion?
Yes.
All right, Norma, could you pull the motion for a bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I've actually got a copy right here.
We have a copy.
How about that?
So have you had a chance to discuss this with the state?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
And do you all have an agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 10637 State versus Mr. Bergen Savala. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Ron Zimmerman for the defense.
And are you Mr. Bergen Savala?
Yes, Your
How do you pronounce your first name?
G.
Ranji?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you have a motion to revoke and it's deferred adjudication. The defense is requesting a bond. You're entitled to a bond. Have parties agreed on a bond?
Have your own.
And what amount is that?
That would be $7,500, Your Honor.
All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Bergen Zavala.
All right, Mr. Bergen Savala, I'm not going to ask you any questions about your motion to revoke or any questions about the case. The only thing I'm going to ask you questions about is so that I can determine whatever conditions will be appropriate for your bond. All right, so have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues? Ever been on any type of medications for any mental health issues?
No, Your Honor.
In the past, have you ever used any type of drugs? All right, and what would that be?
Marijuana.
And what else?
That's it.
All right. Any alleged gang affiliation? And if you were released on bond, where would you be? Well, who would you be staying with?
My mother and my sister.
And how old is your sister?
I have 3 of them. 21, 20, 21, 19, and 17.
Are there any children that are underage in the home?
Yes, my 21-year-old and 19-year-old have sisters. They each have a son apiece,
All right, and what is the child's age?
2 and 1.
Any concerns about him living in a location with children state? All right, then I'll follow your agreement. I'm gonna set your bond at $7,500. There's to be regular UAs. And Ms. Ferguson, if you can set this in 2 weeks for a contested hearing, please. All right, you coming back on February 24th for a contested hearing. And if you'll make sure he has a reset form. All right, do you have any other questions? Anything
I-
else? Yes. Yes.
Mr. Bergen Savala has an unindicted PG 1 4 to 200, for
Mhm.
which Meredith Chacon is the attorney of record. Would you please set that case on the same date so that we might try to resolve both cases simultaneously?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you'll set those both. All right, anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm wondering if it might be more efficient for Ms. Chacon to be the attorney of record on the MTR as well, too, Your Honor.
I don't think so, because, and the reason why I say that, because she's not here and I've
Yeah.
given you all a contested date and I want everybody to be ready on that date.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Armando Orozco. All right, on this case, is there any applications?
No, Your Honor, there is not.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 001482W, State of Texas versus Armando Orozco Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Oh, Lauren left in for Mr. Orozco.
Andrew Beartail, I can say.
And are you Mr. Orozco?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Orozco, did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that and entering this plea bargain agreement, you're giving up certain rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to have the grand jury review the evidence in this case and make it a determination on whether or not to hold you over for trial. Your attorney has certain rights too, in conjunction with your rights, and that is that once the state presents her with the information, 2 days must be allowed to pass, and also she has 10 days to prepare for trial. Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review the information with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented? Mr. Orozco, did you review court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand by information you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
We have discussed that. Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Off the record for a moment. Hello, Judge Castro. Hi. No, I'm not presiding. But yes. So do you have it? No, it's your prosecutor. Well, I shouldn't say your prosecutor, but a prosecutor. No, I'm assuming they are assigned to your court, but so do you want me to sign this or no?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, all right, no problem. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, we're back on the record. So counsel, I'm so sorry. Has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently confident and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Mr. Orozco, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record. So with regards to the plea bargain, you all say there is no applications. Any objection to the court checking the box that there's no application?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. And here's the other question. You all have restitution to the complainant in this case. And I know, counsel, you had said that you all would like a restitution hearing, but if he's sentenced, they're going to take him.
Right. And we chose to kind of delay the restitution issue mostly so that we could resolve this matter today, and the state could even have a chance to speak to the complainant in this case. If there's restitution owed at this point, it's unknown if there is any restitution.
All right. So he's being sentenced today, though?
We would like him to be sentenced
All
today.
right. We are back on the record. All right, Mr. Orozco, anyone threaten you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No,
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
no, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 9 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications, and there is to be restitution, if any, to the complainant. And I'll also order no contact with the complainant. I mean, that's what's going to be added as a
Right.
part of your sentence.
No objection.
All right. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
No objections, Your
All
Honor.
right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witness statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will sentence you to 9 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's to be restitution, if any, to Luis Cedillo. There's to be no contact with Luis Cedillo, John Martinez, and Michael Kevin Bush Jr. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. I know there, I think, is the presumption of the 80-20 sentence in state jail cases, but in case the court needs to order that also, we would just ask that the court order the 80-20.
Well, what I will tell you, what ends up happening is I'll receive notes from the state jail facility. And if he is availing himself of the classes that are offered there and rehabilitating himself, then the court usually grants that.
Okay. And I was recently informed by another court that the client actually, when they go to classification at state jail, also needs to request it.
Yes.
And so I instructed him to do so as well.
All right. All right. Anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, ma'am.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You got to make better choices, or else, you know what I always tell people, and it's true. No matter what the price of eggs are, that people are saying that's too outrageous. No matter what, maybe there's not money to build a new school that people need. Maybe there's not money to pay teachers more. But guess what? Government will always find money to put people at the Bexar County Jail and put people in prison. And this whole thing where they say it's overcrowded, let me just explain to you. If you have a jail or a prison that can only hold 100 inmates, and they say if they go beyond 100, it's a violation of people's rights and it'd be overcrowded, guess what? They're going to put 100 more in that jail. Nobody's going to say, oh, we can't put any more in this jail because that's the root. No. So if you want to be one of those people to continue to be in an overcrowded facility, that's 100% your choice. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, have a good one.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
আমি আছি বগুড়ায়, আর বগুড়ার সব সেরা রাঁধুনিরা তাদের হাতের খাবার নিয়ে চলে এসেছেন। কেমন করছেন তারা, চলুন দেখা যাক। দর্শক, অসংখ্য প্রতিযোগীর মধ্য থেকে প্রাথমিকভাবে বাছাইকৃত প্রতিযোগীরা আজ হাজির হয়েছে বগুড়াতে। প্রত্যেকের স্বপ্ন একটাই, হতে চায় সেরা রাঁধুনি, এবং একটু পরেই তারা মুখোমুখি হবে বিচারকদের। তারা কি ভাবছেন, মনের মধ্যে কিরকম দুশ্চিন্তা হচ্ছে, কে কি রেসিপি নিয়ে এসেছেন এবং তাদের জন্য কতটা সহজ হবে ঢাকায় যাওয়ার টিকিট পাওয়া, কথা বলবো প্রতিযোগীদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আপনার রেসিপি কি?
আমার রেসিপিটা হচ্ছে ক্যারামেল অরেঞ্জ ইয়োগার্ট।
ওকে, এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস কি?
এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্ট হচ্ছে দই, বগুড়ার বিখ্যাত দই। আমি সেটা দিয়ে ফিউশন করার ট্রাই করেছি।
আপনি এর আগেও অংশ নিয়েছিলেন, সম্ভবত 1427 এবং গ্র্যান্ড অডিশন থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, রাইট?
রাইট।
এবারের রেসিপি কি?
এবারের রেসিপি হচ্ছে আমার চকলেট মোকা স্ট্রবেরি চিজ কেক। অল আর মাই সিক্রেট রেসিপি, সো আই এম ভেরি এক্সাইটেড।
কুমু, কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
খুব ভালো। এর আগে 1427-এ লাকি 7 থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, এবার কি মনে হচ্ছে?
প্রথমবারের যে অভিজ্ঞতা, বর্তমানে আমি তারপর আরো 2 বছর সময় নিয়েছি, শিখেছি, তো নিজেকে এবারে তৈরি করে এনেছি, ইনশাল্লাহ ভালো কিছু একটা হবে।
আপনার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য কি?
আমার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য হচ্ছে গ্রাম্য নিয়ে এসেছি, মানে আমার গ্রামের যে জিনিসপত্র সে প্রেজেন্ট করবো।
একসঙ্গে কতজনের রান্না করতে পারবেন?
আমি যদি বলি, এখন আমাদের বাসায় যত গেস্ট আসে আপ টু 20।
একটু কি ভয় লাগছে?
হ্যাঁ, একটু ভয় কাজ করছে, কারণ ফার্স্ট টাইম কোনো রিয়েলিটি শোতে আসছি।
তারপর আপনার জন্য শুভকামনা রইল।
সো মাচ।
দর্শক, ভয় তো লাগবেই, এবং এই ভয়কে জয় করাই হচ্ছে যে কোনো প্রতিযোগীর কাজ। সেরা রাঁধুনি কিন্তু একটা লম্বা প্রতিযোগিতা, এবং এই রেসে টিকে থাকার জন্য আপনাকে অবশ্যই অন্যদের চাইতে বেটার রেসিপি দিতে হবে, এবং সেই রেসিপির মধ্য দিয়ে কিন্তু যারা আমাদের বিচারক রয়েছেন তাদের মন জয় করতে হবে। সো দেখা যাক কি হয়, আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আমাদের মাঝে বিচারকেরা চলে এসেছেন। একটু পরেই শুরু হবে ফুড টেস্টিং এবং সেই সাথে জাজমেন্ট। আমি এবার কথা বলবো আমাদের বিচারকদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। ওয়েলকাম টু বগুড়া অডিশন। কি খবর?
ভালো, তুমি কেমন আছো?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি, এবং আমি ভুল না করলে এবার দিয়ে বোধহয় 5ম বারের মতো আপনি আসলে বিচারকের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন। বগুড়ার প্রতিযোগী, সর্বোপরি এবারের প্রতিযোগীদের নিয়ে আপনার কি বলার আছে?
প্রত্যাশা তো অনেক বেশি, কারণ বগুড়া সবসময় সব সিজনেই অনেক ভালো ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা পেয়ে থাকি সেরা রাঁধুনিতে। তো এবারেও আমি আশা করছি যে অ্যাটলিস্ট টপ 5 পর্যন্ত যেন যেতে পারে, এরকম পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা এখান থেকে নিয়ে যেতে পারি, এটাই আমাদের প্রত্যাশা।
শেফ নাইম আশরাফ, দ্বিতীয়বারের মতো সেরা রাঁধুনির অডিশনের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন বিচারকের। কেমন লাগছে বা কি মনে করছেন এবারের এই আয়োজন নিয়ে?
সেরা রাঁধুনি গত সিজনে আমরা রংপুর দিয়ে শুরু করেছিলাম, সো এবার বগুড়াতে নতুন পার্টিসিপেন্টসদের খাওয়া ট্রাই করার জন্য ভেরি এক্সাইটেড। রেসিপি সিলেকশনে আমি সবগুলো রেসিপি দেখেছি, সিলেক্ট করেছি, সো ওগুলো খাওয়ার জন্য এবার এখানে আশা করি অনেক ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস বগুড়া থেকে পাবো।
অনেক অনেক ভালোবাসা। আমার মনে হয় আমি আর সময় নষ্ট না করি, আপনার ভেতরে চলে যান।
তোমাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ। দর্শক, আমাদের প্রধান 2 বিচারককে তো পেয়ে গেছি, কিন্তু বগুড়াতে রয়েছেন আমাদের আরও একজন অতিথি বিচারক। তিনি ঠিক কোথায় আমি এখনো জানি না, তাকে খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না। তিনি এলেই কিন্তু শুরু হয়ে যাবে আমাদের মূল অডিশন রাউন্ড। আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
Anh Sơn ơi, chuẩn bị dán đi kia đi.
Mình đã tô xong 6 cái bông hoa trang trí ở cái lọ này nhá. Giờ mình sẽ tô đến cái phần thân của lọ hoa này, cái bình hoa này nhá, với cái màu tím này. Mình sẽ tô từ phần đáy lên. Lâm này. Chỉ phát này thôi. Một cái bình hoa với cái màu tím nhá. Vẫn ngủ hay là thức rồi? Mình đang tô cái phần bình hoa với cái màu tím nhá. Phần những bông hoa trang trí trên bình, 6 bông hoa mình đã tô bằng màu đỏ rồi nha. Không đặt được à? Với cái bình màu tím rất là mộng mơ nha.
আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন। হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না, দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না।
আমার মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নিন, ভালো করে শিখেন।
হ্যালো শেফ, হ্যালো ম্যাম, হ্যালো ম্যাম।
হ্যালো।
এটা হলো আমি করেছি কোয়েল বেগুনের কালাইয়ের টাক। আমার আঞ্চলিকতাকেই আমি ফিউশন হিসেবে এখানে তুলে ধরেছি। আর পাশে ডেজার্ট হিসেবে রেখেছি জাম্বুরা খোসার মালাই চাপিটা।
ইন্টারেস্টিং। এটা প্লেট করা কোথা থেকে শিখলেন?
এমএ কমপ্লিট করার পরে যখন ঢাকাতে চাকরি প্রিপারেশনের জন্য যাই, তখন ওখান থেকে 3 মাসের একটা কোর্স করেছিলাম। ওখানে আপনার ডেকোরেশন, প্লেটিং অনেক কিছু শেখাইছিল। ছোটোখাটো কিছু ওখান থেকেই শেখা হয়েছে। আর ইউটিউব, সুপার শেফ, মাস্টার শেফ, কানাডিয়ান, অস্ট্রেলিয়ান এইসব দেখেই শিখেছি। আর আপনার ফুড নিয়ে এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করতে ভালোবাসি। খাদ্যের অবশিষ্ট অংশ ফেলে দিয়ে আমরা অনেক সময় নষ্ট করি, যাতে ওইগুলো আমরা ফুড হিসেবে আবার প্লেটিং করতে পারি, সেই হিসাবে এটা আমার করা। জাম্বুরার খোঁজ
সেরা রাঁধুনিতে কি ফার্স্ট টাইম?
না, এবার দিয়ে আমার সেকেন্ড টাইম।
আচ্ছা,
এর আগের বার আমি এসেছিলাম, আপনার ওই টিমে ছিলাম।
আপনি কিচেনে কাজ করেন না কেন?
জি, জি।
হোটেল বা রেস্টুরেন্টে কাজ করেন না?
আমি আপনার 17-18 মাস মতন কাজ করেছিলাম আপনার রূপপুর পারমাণবিকের পাশে, মানে অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট হিসেবে ঢুকেছিলাম। পরে শেফ চলে যাওয়ার কারণে পুরো আমি হ্যান্ডেল করতাম ওইটা।
কিচেন লাইনে কাজ করতে চান?
অফকোর্স, এই জন্যই এখনো এর পিছনেই ছুটছে।
আপনার আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুড আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুডের টেস্টও অনেক ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আপনার খুব ভালো চেষ্টা ছিল, আর আমরা নতুন রেসিপি দেখলাম।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
তো আমার মনে হলো আপনাকে আমরা একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেই। আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে, আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
আমি নিয়ে এসেছি প্লেন রাইস, সর্ষে ইলিশ, আর হচ্ছে একটা ডাউল রান্না, বাড়িতে নর্মালি যেটা রান্না হয় আর কি, আর হচ্ছে 3 পদের ভর্তা।
এতটুকু তো এনাফ না সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার জন্য।
কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
এটা স্যার ফ্রাইড চিকেন আর ফ্রাইড রাইস।
বাসায় রান্না করেন?
জি জি,
কি ধরনের রান্না?
নর্মাল রান্নাগুলো আম্মু করে, আর একটু মানে অন্যরকম রান্নাগুলো আমি করেছি।
আম্মু তো সেরা রাজনীতি গিয়ে রান্না করে দিয়ে আসে।
না না, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারি ম্যাম, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারবো।
একটু স্কিলটা বাড়াতে হবে। হ্যাঁ,
জি, আমি নিয়ে আসছি অ্যারাবিয়ান চিকেন খাফসা।
এখানে স্টার অনিস ব্যবহার করেছো? স্টার অনিস অনেক বেশি স্ট্রং ফ্লেভার আছে।
খাপসা নিয়ে এসেছি, এটা খাপসা হয়নি।
আবার আসবে।
চিকেন ললিপপ, সাথে একটু সুইটের জন্য চকলেট কেক নিয়ে এসেছি।
ললিপপের সাথে রাইস যায় না।
চিকেন ললিপপ ইজ আ স্টার্টার।
এই জিনিসগুলো অবশ্যই মাথায় রাখতে হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
শারমিন, কি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
আমি এটা কাঁচা পেঁপের লাড্ডু বানিয়েছি।
শারমিন, এটা আপনার নিজের রেসিপি?
জি।
ইটস রিয়েলি গুড। আমি খাওয়া স্টপ করতে পারছি না। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না।
আমার মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নিন, ভালো করে শিখেন।
জি
ফারজান আক্তার মিম,
জি।
কি বানিয়েছো?
পায়েস।
এত বড় প্লেটে কেন?
আসলে ডেকোরেশনের জন্য একটু বড়ই নিয়েছিলাম।
ডেকোরেশনের জন্য তো ভালো লাগছে না।
পায়েস সাধারণত এভাবে সার্ভ হয় না।
আপনার নাম বলবেন আর কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন সেটা?
আমার নাম মোহাম্মদ শাফিউল আলম, ডিশের নাম লেয়ার হ্যাভেন টিট।
এটা হ্যাভেন কোন দিক থেকে হলো?
একটা স্মুথি ভাব আসে, এই জন্য
যে একটা বাইট দিলাম আর একদম উড়ে হ্যাবেন। আমি খেয়ে যেটা দেখলাম কেকটা খুবই ড্রাই। সরি টু সে আমি যেতে পারি নাই হ্যাবেন।
অডিশন রাউন্ডে বিচারকদের কাছে প্রতিযোগীদের রেসিপির পাশাপাশি ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন, কুকিং স্কিল, নলেজ, সেলফ কনফিডেন্স সহ বিভিন্ন বিষয়ে পরীক্ষার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়। সেই পরীক্ষায় অনেকেই বিচারকদের প্রত্যাশা পূরণ করতে পারেননি, তাই সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার স্বপ্ন তাদের এখানেই থেমে যায়।
অয়েল ফ্রি আলু পনির, এটা
পনিরটা কিভাবে বানিয়েছে?
পনিরটা এটা কেনা পনির।
তাহলে তা আলুও বাজার থেকে কেনা, তাহলে
হ্যাঁ।
আপনার কি?
আমার রান্না রেসিপি আমার।
আমার নাম নাসরিন আক্তার মিম। আমি আজকে করেছি ভ্যানিলা কেক, সাথে আমি করেছি হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকের সাথে হাঁসের মাংস?
কেকটা এখানে কেন, মানে টপ থেকে এডিবল?
নো,
সো এটা এডিবল না, এন্ড দেন ওয়াই ডিড ইউ পুট?
এটাও এডিবল না, এটা হচ্ছে
Plastic on top?
প্রপার। হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না, দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Làm cho chú cá này uyển chuyển này, bơi lội. Với cái phần vây là cái màu cam nha. Mình đã tô xong cái phần vây ở đuôi nha. Mình đang tô cái phần vây của chú cá ở phần lưng nha. Mình tiếp tục tô cái phần vây ở chỗ phần dưới của đầu nè. Phần vây là rất là dài nhá.
It looked really good. Taste-wise, it is also very good.
থ্যাংক ইউ
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম অ্যান্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি।
আমি মৌসুমি।
মৌসুমি কি বানিয়েছেন?
এটা হচ্ছে চকো ক্যারামেল চিজ কেক ব্লসম।
Looks beautiful. I think আজকের দেখা one of the best presentation.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি করেন আপনি?
আমার ছোটোখাটো একটা বিজনেস আছে ফুড নিয়ে, পাশাপাশি আমি ট্রেনার হিসেবে রাজশাহী মহিলা টিটিসিতে আছি। আমি মাস্টার্স কমপ্লিট করেছি হোম ইকোনমিক্স থেকে, আর এছাড়াও আমি হোটেল ম্যানেজমেন্টে ডিপ্লোমা করেছি, আর এখন করছি হলো কুলিনারি আর্টসের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা। এছাড়াও আমি কিছু লেভেল কমপ্লিট করেছি যেটা কুকিং এবং বেকিংয়ের উপরে।
সো আপনি রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার?
জি।
সো রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার হিসেবে ইউ হোল্ড আ ভেরি হাই পজিশন ইন দ্য সোসাইটি, রাইট? সো ওই পজিশন থেকে এসে এরকম একটা প্ল্যাটফর্মে দাঁড়িয়ে নিজের খানাকে প্রুভ করা, দ্যাট টেকস আ লট অফ গাটস। অল ইউর স্টুডেন্টস আর ওয়াচিং, যারা আপনাকে চিনে তারা দেখছে।
জি।
অ্যান্ড এটা তো অ্যাবাউট নাও তো 50-50, ইট ক্যান গো এনি ডিরেকশনে। ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন নিয়ে আমি বলেছি, ইট লুকড রিয়েলি গুড। টেস্ট ওয়াইজ ইট ইজ অলসো ভেরি গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এভরি লেয়ার, ডিফারেন্ট এলিমেন্টস অফ ইট ভালো লেগেছে।
জি।
নিচের সসটা ভালো লেগেছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমাদের যদি সিলেক্ট হয়ে যান তাহলে কিন্তু একটা লম্বা সময় থাকতে হবে, মানে এত কিছু বাদ দিয়ে ওইটুকু কি করা সম্ভব?
সম্ভব, কারণ আমার বাচ্চারা খুব করে চায়, এটা তো আমার ভালো লাগার একটা জায়গা যে আমিও চাচ্ছি এখানে যেতে। সঙ্গে আমার বাচ্চাদের খুব ইচ্ছা যে তার মাকে এই পজিশনে দেখা যাক, তো আমি হয়তোবা জবও ছেড়ে দিতে পারি এখানে যাওয়ার জন্য।
মৌসুমি, আমরা আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিব, ঠিক আছে?
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আসুন।
ইয়েস, পেয়ে গেছি আমার কাঙ্ক্ষিত কার্ডটি। যদি আমি অ্যাপরনটি পেয়ে যাই তো আমি যেখানে জব করি তাদেরকে আমি জানাবো আমি ছুটি চাই 2 মাসের জন্য। যদি তারা মানে রাজি হয় তাহলে ওকে, আর যদি না রাজি হয় তো আমার স্বপ্নপূরণের জন্য আমি জবটা ছেড়ে দেব, তাও আমি যেতে চাই ঢাকা।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
আমার নাম তাসনিয়া আলী।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
আমি বানিয়েছি বিফ লাজানিয়া।
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম অ্যান্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি।
সেটা পারফেক্ট আছে?
আই হোপ সো।
ইটালিয়ান আইটেমে কোন উপাদানটা ছাড়া কখনো ইটালিয়ান ডিশ হয় না?
টমেটো আর মৎজারেলা, ওদের প্রত্যেকটা আইটেমে কাইন্ড অফ এই দুইটা জিনিস কনসিস্টেন্ট থাকে।
অরিগানো অলসো।
অরিগানো অলসো, ইয়েস।
এখানে মৎজারেলা আসছে?
জি, হোমমেড মৎজারেলা, যেটা আমি নিজে বানিয়েছি।
হোমমেড?
জি।
I am very impressed যে you make your own mozzarella.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর কি কি ইটালিয়ান ডিশ তুমি ভালো তৈরি করতে পারো?
স্প্যাগেটি উইথ মিটবলস, এটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্টলি বানাই। আরেকটা হচ্ছে তিরামিসু।
বাংলা খাবার বানাতে পারো?
জি পারি।
5 ফোড়নে যে ব্যবহার করা হয়, 5 ফোড়ন নাম শুনেছো?
জি।
5টা মশলার নাম বলো তো।
মেথি, মৌরি, কালিজিরা, জিরা, নর্মাল জিরা অ্যান্ড না সরি লাস্টটা মনে পড়তে
রাঁধুনি থাকে ওর মধ্যে।
ও হ্যাঁ রাঁধুনি, সর্ষে
রাঁধুনিও থাকে, রাঁধুনি থাকে। মনে করেন আপনি সেরা রাঁধুনি হয়ে গেলেন,
জি
15 লক্ষ টাকাও পেলেন,
জি
দেন করবেন কি?
আই থিঙ্ক কালিনারি আর্টসে একটা ডিগ্রি পারসিউ করব ফার্স্ট অফ অল। অ্যান্ড বেকিংয়ে আমার আরও বেশি অনেক কিছু, যে অনেক টাইপের আইটেমস আছে, সো ওগুলো আমি আমার প্রফেশনালি শেখার ইচ্ছা আছে। তো আমি মোস্ট প্রবাবলি স্কিল বিল্ডিংয়ে ইনভেস্ট করব সবার ফার্স্ট।
So for now, we'll give you a waiting card. ঠিক আছে?
Mình đã tô xong quả dứa với cái màu cam nha. Phần lá là màu xanh nè. Còn phần chùm nho này, đây là một chùm nho chín nha. Mình đã xong cái màu cam này rồi. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu tím nha. Màu tím nha. Đây là cái màu tím nè. Mình sẽ xếp lại cái màu của mình vào cái hộp màu này. Để cho nó đỡ chặt nha.
All right, 2 to 3 times a week is a lot. And this could have turned out so. All right, who's here on John Philip D. McCarter?
Với những quả nho màu tím nhá, mình sẽ tô. Một chùm nho rất là nhiều quả nho nhỏ nha. Mình đang tô phần chùm nho với cái màu tím nhá. Một cái giỏ hoa quả gồm 4 loại quả là quả xoài, quả táo, quả cam và quả nho. Mình đang tô phần quả nho nha.